My name is Quincy Lucas, writer and creator of Winter's Prophecy. I was hoping to convey a new perspective on what we know as storytelling and what we've always been told about the Bible. We all know about Charleston Heston's and the original Ten Commandments, right? But it's 2024, we're in the 21st century. We need to kind of update that a little bit. You know, and instead of a staff, he carries firearms and things of that nature. And we also wanted to make Moses look um, more to the effect of what maybe he would have looked like, right? So I chose a black man for the character. So that's my thinking is we just want to give the kids a little something different, but the same. We want to give them a better perspective of it. To me, that's life. I think life has all those things. It's a blended of it's a amalgamation of the supernatural, a thriller, action, depending on who you are, right? If you don't live under a rock, um, your life you may experience all of those facets. I know for me, I've had some action, I've had some thrills, and then you get the supernatural. There's certain things you can't explain. There's certain things that happened in my life that I just can't explain, and I wanted to be able to try to transfer that to the page. Um, we can't explain everything that goes on in the day to day in the world. It's important to put that on the page, to let people know that it's just not a day in day out kind of life. This life has surprises. I think it's important to note that uh, the winter prophecy came to me, or I thought about the idea off of my younger brother Keyshawn asking me to write something, right? And so I could have wrote anything, and I definitely could have wrote something that was more what they call urban based, right? For the hood, whatever, right? But I think we can get back to that later. I think we need to write something that challenges the people's thinking. Um, my inspiration was that, hey man, what's the greatest book ever written in some people's eyes, right? Because I don't want to say everybody. I know I read the Bible growing up as a kid, but I wanted to take something and I wanted to speak to it in a way that would resonate with today's youth, today's adults, even older people of a certain age are only going to see, you know, Bible characters as a certain way. Um, it's time right now to tell a different story that stems from the original story, and it's time to let people know that hey, listen, what you've been told all your life may not necessarily be. So I just simply, my brother asked me, thought about something from the Bible, Moses, Moshe, and Winter Prophecy is actually a part that I came up with, a piece of IP that I thought to kind of blend in with it. I'm not trying to add to the Bible. I don't want anybody to come for me, but it's a way to tell that story and make it resonate with today's viewers. I think for that, his journey is let's break it down like this, right? So Moses was an orphan in the Bible, right? How many kids get displaced? You know, CPS comes and pick them up because the parents don't do the right thing, buy them things like that. Kids grow up in broken homes, um, all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, you're looking at an orphan. You're looking at somebody who was displaced. You're looking at somebody who, was hunted. Somebody who got angry. You know what I mean? You also got the fact that, in the Bible, right? And I'm not a preacher or claiming to be a preacher man or a man of the cloth, but this is a story that needs to be told because people do get upset in real life. They get upset all the time. You got road rage, you got all kind of things that go on in real life, but it's what you do with it. So as far as like how it resonates with contemporary culture is you dealing with an orphan that can translate to any person living today that comes from that situation. You're dealing with anger. You see somebody getting wronged, as we know Moses saw somebody getting wronged, a slave getting wronged, and he killed the person who was torturing the slave, right? Listen, there's so many aspects of that story that need to be brought to the public so people can understand that it's not just one way. And it resonates in that way. You don't have to lay down to let people walk over you. You can be humble, you can be kind, you know what I mean? But there's a line, right? I think this story draws that line. Yeah, we get theatrical and dramatical with it, but we telling a story, right? We embellish a little bit, but we want it to be known that this is for everybody. I initially wrote the story as a short, right? And then the director, the Great A-Way. It's like, yo, we can kind of make this man a little longer. It could resonate with more people, kind of get some more eyes, and viewership is what you're seeking, right? Ultimately, when you write something, you're seeking to bring it to the world, and if you're lucky, you get to sell it to the world, right? Um, there's a lot of projects where you can go and choose to do certain things, but I think that was a good piece of advice from him to say, hey, make it longer. So I think putting in certain scenes, there's a part about the brotherhood where cops are running around hunting black people. I think that's important. There's another part where, um, you know, um, there's a sniper scene, right? It's there's a scene in that sniper scene where you see the main character Moses or Moshe. He's the reincarnation of Moses, right? That's what it's about. The reincarnation of Moses in today's time. That's what the story is about. He's seeing evil and he's stopping it. I think adding on those additional scenes at the behest of the director was a good piece of advice, and I'm glad I took it. I want people to take away that there's all kinds of ways to tell a story, and for being honest, a lot of stories are only being told one way. Well, if you don't like the way a story is being told, or you're tired of seeing the same old thing, then make way for other people to tell different stories and give them a shot, because there's different stories being told in different ways. All you got to do is just open your eyes up to it. They're there.